Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Weber State Esports. We've got some exciting gameplay going on tonight because, folks, we're back with some more Rocket League. It's been a while, but hey, this new season's here.
Yeah, so grab your buckets of popcorn if that's your type of thing to do when watching collegiate esports, and get ready for some fun, fast-paced games. I myself don't know much about Rocket League, have watched it enough to know that I would suck at playing it, but hey, that's why I'm here on the mic instead of playing the computer.
Same here, man. It's honestly a very complicated game, all things considered. The physics are very well done, and man, some of the high-level plays you'll see are nuts. But it is worth mentioning that we are up against UBC Blue, or the University of British Columbia. We're excited to be facing them. I believe we fought them at finals last year. I'm not 100% sure. I should have checked. But with the season starting back up, we're a little bit all over the place trying to get everything working back together.
And we do apologize that, for the previous games where with League, Riot's been funky doing some stupid stuff in the back end. But this is not League. This is Rocket League. And we don't have those stupid spaghetti code problems.
I sure hope not. I would be devastated to have you all joining us for a completely unrelated game that also crashes. You'll note that we haven't gotten into a game, of course, yet, despite the fact that we are talking. There seems to be a little bit of a delay, so hopefully the players will get everything situated and we can get into game soon. Just for now, bear with us as we talk to you a little bit about just the state of UBC esports in general, actually, because on the note of League, with any luck, we should hopefully be able to get back into League this week or next week, because Riot's been shipping out some patches. There was a new one today, and I would like to believe that it fixed those issues that we've been having. Either way, I'm just excited to be back for Rocket League. Our team did end up taking the championship last season in their division. They went all the way to finals and took it in a very, very fun series. I hope you all were there for that one.
It will be exciting to see how things turn out here. Now, I have to ask you, car skins, is it as pay to win as people say it is?
No, it's not. They're coping. Okay, so it depends. Having talked to our other Rocket League caster who also plays for our JV team, hopefully we'll get to highlight them at some point in gameplay beyond just casting. But no, it is just mental warfare. Like, legitimately, apparently he says that sometimes players will even go out of the lobby between games and change car skins to just do a mental reset. It's like turning off chat in League of Legends. Sometimes you just have to focus in and get a new reset.
Oh, the fun thing when you all of a sudden the enemy top laner rage baits you and then mutes themselves.
Very powerful. But of course, this is a different game. And speaking of a different game, folks, we've got ourselves the game on our screen right now. You can see that Weber State on the blue side here and UBC Blue on the orange, which is a little different. And here they are, Puffy Fish. We're currently going with the ball. And CRF and Rivers maybe going for a setup play here, but Benji in a great position to knock it away, pushed against the wall. However, absolutely no one in the right position. Ooh, IUS just barely blocking it from the goal there. Rivers has control over the ball, but with not much boost, they're probably just going to fall gracefully to the ground. Still, Weber has a lot of control right now, pushing it close to UBC's goal.
Yeah, absolutely no one doing really good as IUS is going to work. But Rivers out of nowhere. Luckily, Benji was there to stop that attempt on the goal. Pufferfish going to be here to try and block once again. Absolutely no one was going to try there. But again, just shot after shot onto UBC's goal. Weber not letting up one instant.
I mean, you got it right there, right? The pressure is insane from Weber. The coordination seems to be on point. Every time the ball seems to be knocked away from UBC, Weber is immediately there with a different member to knock it back. This time it's Rivers going for a decent goal attempt. Benji in a little bit of an awkward position, and there will be able to just tap it past Benji there. We'll see it on the replay. Nicely done from Rivers.
Yeah, I think what happened is Rivers had it, Benji bounced it, it bounced right back to Rivers. Not enough boost to get it out of the goal.
Yep, for those of you that are joining us for Rocket League first time this season, that could be called a 50-50 that Rivers won. They just kind of both went for the tap, and Rivers ended up getting most of that momentum. Ooh, the ball almost on the blue side for the first time in the set. Just still not barely able to keep it there. Actually, Puffyfish going for it, and none of the members of Weber were in a great position to block. Thankfully, absolutely no one managed to make it in time. Still, this is a very different set from the last point. You can see UBC definitely in control now. Can CRF block this? They can, and actually with a good push away, it might reset the pressure.
Yeah, but Benji there going to go ahead and try and get it back in UBC's control as now Puffyfish going to go ahead and juggle it, but Rivers there to stop it back on the orange side. Going to go ahead and try, but they're going to go ahead and get it back as CRF going to go ahead and sit in the goal, defending Weber State's goal, as now he has, looks like possibly a good attack position but IUS going to go ahead and juggle past it to Benji, but Rivers out of nowhere coming in to keep it on the orange side. Absolutely no one now has the ball. Puffyfish going to have to try and stop him, but what a beautiful juggle. Absolutely no one.
There's actually a cool flip reset there. You can see absolutely no one puts their tires against the ball, which means they reset their flip, and you can see they use it immediately again to push the ball right over the head of a UBC member. Didn't see exactly which one it was, but either way, insanely well played from Weber. A good control of their boost, and this is something we've seen from them a lot in the previous season as well. Weber really likes these aerial plays. They have phenomenal mobile control in the air. I love to watch them maintain control of the airways.
I mean, it was one of the things I was going to make as a joke before we got into. You said the physics in this game are great. I'm like, cars flying around with a soccer ball, physics, yes.
It's totally physics. I mean, you've seen Back to the Future too, right? Of course, the documentary.
Ah, yes. Anyway, back to Rocket League, as right now, Weber State's now under a little bit of pressure as Rivers and absolutely no one going to try and get the ball out. Rivers going to go and play some defense here. Very good blocking here as he will go ahead and get the ball away. Going to go ahead and do, once again, just very good ball control.
All right, now the ball is over to Puffyfish. UBC looking for a goal setup, trying to angle it upwards, and actually a demolition comes out from IUS, but at least Rivers gets the ball to be pushed away before the ball goes in. Very scary window there. You can see that, especially anytime a demo comes out, the defending team just loses so much pressure. However, because all three members of UBC were very far pushed up, no one is able to make it back in time to defend the goal. Sometimes a mistake that costs a lot, and this time it costs UBC another point in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the perfect position, perfect power from CRF to get it to go crossfield into the goal. Gotta love it.
It's the hardest part of a Rocket League from what I've seen. I mean, obviously it's probably not the hardest part, but as a caster, I find it often hard while watching to see teams try to decide between going on all offense, all three members up to try and get a goal, and having that extra member for pressure, or keeping one member further back to defend. Because anytime you find yourself without a member to defend, plays like that happen. And honestly, with Weaver being up 3-0 and only a minute and 45 or so left on the clock, I don't think UBC is looking to pull this game back. Ideally, they're just looking to get some early game jitters out and come back in the series with the next couple games.
CRF with a really good pass to absolutely no one. Unfortunately, not quite on goal, but never mind. It was from CRF to absolutely no one, back to CRF, and that's another goal for Weber. Holy crap.
That's hilarious, actually. I didn't even notice. CRF hits the ball originally at Weber's goal and then sprints across the entire field just to catch the pass down from absolutely no one. The teamwork play from Weber feels immaculate this game. I mean, it is on point. Right now, we'll see how the early fight goes, and it actually kind of pinched over to the side there between multiple members of either team. Now, Weber up 4-0 and with a good amount of boost can probably just cause chaos. It's something that I like to call out often. When you're up this far ahead in a game, especially an important game, you can totally just create insane plays, and that's fine. As long as the ball isn't anywhere near anyone's goal, you're still winning.
Again, some plays going back here as Puffyfish and Benji going on a little bit of an aggression here against Weber, but CRF going to go ahead and say, you know what, no, I'll sit in the goal. Rivers can do his thing. Be really annoying as just those juggles, getting it back onto the orange side of the field. It is crazy the pressure that Weber is putting onto UBC. But this could be the goal. Unfortunately, bounced a little bit too high. Rivers is here to try to defend. Weber doing very good, running interference and being annoying.
Yeah, I really like the defense from Weaver there, but it was a really good goal attempt from UBC as well, right? You can see they're starting to figure it out, find their angles, and almost find these goals. None of the goals in this game would have mattered, I would say. But still, getting the jitters out, finding the middle game is good, as CRF finds a demo onto Puffyfish, so immediately Weaver finds about 5 seconds or so of pressure, and they're going to immediately convert it into a goal as well.
That is crazy. So, for those of us who maybe don't know Rocket League, how does one do a demo?
Usually, again, I'm not 100% sure on this, but usually it has to do with speed when colliding with another opponent. If you are above a certain speed threshold and you collide with another player, it does a check, and then if you are fast enough, you have an immediate demo, and they're taken out, and then they respawn near their goal after about 3 to 4 seconds. Ooh, almost another goal attempt there, and we'll see, was that a double demo? No, just original demo. But Benji actually does score, so hey, UBC saying, we won't let you flush us out, we're going to at least get 1 point.
Yeah, you see the block there, and the kill going on. CRF, unfortunately, was actually being, I say it lightly, detained by UBC there. getting him so that he couldn't come out of the goal to block that.
No, I mean, it's a good call out, right? As you said, they found a demo on the one member who was ready to block, and they were able to chase around CRF and absolutely no one to prevent them from being able to block. It was a good coordinated play from UBC, and I'm excited to see if they can find more like that as the series continues. But of course, the moment the ball touches the ground, this game will be over, and it will be going in the favor of Weber. As actually a little bit of a self-goal there with the assistance from UBC. I think they're saying, it's totally fine. Let's just have some fun, let it go in, and get ready for the next game. Because, folks, your first game will go to Weber State.
Let's go, Weber. We love to see it. And it's really quick getting onto the second game, so it should be here very soon.
Yeah, we won't have to go to any other graphics. We'll just wait for all the players to ready themselves up, and we'll get going. You can see some good sportsmanship in chat. Always happy to see players saying GG, even after just the one game, right? You know you got a long series ahead of you. Maybe long. This is the best of 7. So it could go all the way to 7 games, or it could go to 4 at minimum. We usually see Weber go to a lot of games that go all the way to 7. It seems to be the Weber classic. They go up 1 or 2, we're down 1 or 2, and then there's a trade back and forth of pressure. We'll see if they can turn that around. Again, for what it's worth, Weber is recently champions of their division, so they've got a lot of pressure riding on them to maintain that form.
Oh, but here, Puffyfish coming out strong. If that tap had been ever so slightly softer, that was a goal.
Yeah, that was a very clean angle. Oh, Rivers finds a goal across the way. It looks like I think Benji just wasn't quite able to block it from the right angle. Rivers just setting up themselves, bouncing it off the wall to get the right hit, and then, yeah, Benji not able to go high enough. Had full boost, but wasn't quite ready for the angle. Nice find from Rivers, and already we were up 1-0 in the second game.
Yeah, I'm sorry, UBC. I caster cursed you there. My bad. I'll try to stay as unbiased as possible, but it's hard.
We can be biased between games, but yeah, I agree. I try to be unbiased in the middle of a game. That being said, Weber is really showing their stuff right here. A second goal immediately. I was going to call out the fact that early goals don't tend to matter too much, right? I mean, you could score 3 goals in the first 10 seconds, but you have so much time to come back. But with 2 goals and already about 20 seconds or so, it's starting to become more difficult for UBC. You have to make up these 2 goals and find a third in the time remaining. It's still a good amount of time, but you've got to start winning these early 50-50s, and they're actually going to win it this time, which means that Benji has great control over the ball, but with no boost, it could be a little tough to push it in.
Yeah, you were going to say that you have to get 2 goals and find the third. That's assuming that you can stop Weber from scoring in that meantime as well.
Yeah, and that seemed to be really hard in the series for UBC. Again, UBC Blue doing what they can. I by all means, I can see the plays almost working out. They're just, honestly, the 4th member of Weber, the backboard, and the net is being a little difficult for them to deal with. Rivers pushing it across the field now, and Puffyfish was going to kind of catch it and dribble it there, but wasn't fully in the right position. There's a nice push away from Benji. IUS flying up to try and hit the ball, but it won't actually work out, and unfortunately, because there was a little bit of miscommunication there, no one was quite ready to block the ball.
Yeah, I was going to say that the demolition was actually pretty good, got them some good time, but absolutely no one. Once again, doing that dribble where he touches the tires on the ball to reset his flip, very strong.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I say Weber's phenomenal in the air. They really are insanely good, especially in this level, at aerial plays. It's really cool. Anytime you see the ball fly upwards, remember that it's probably in Weber's favor. Ooh, actually an immediate early demolition from Puffyfish. I could give Weber a back foot that they've kind of been avoiding for a long time, but Puffyfish with a good block this time. Doesn't really stop the momentum though, just the aerial play. And can Weber find the continued play? If Siraf picks it up, but IUS finally pushing it away, has no boost anymore, so it's up to the other members of the team. Remember, boost is very important in this game. Having none of it means that you really need to stop going for plays, take a moment to pull off to the side, and then return to the ball.
Yeah, and one of the things that I want to mention is that even with that demolition happening, you noticed Weber State was on full aggression. They're like, we're 2 men down? Oh, well, if they get a shot on goal, great. We're not going to let them.
Aggression is a great way to describe Weber. They really like going for these constant forward plays. You can see that despite the fact I believe they both got, I think they just got double demoed, they're still 1 member strong pushing forward. There's absolutely no one doubling back now, knowing that with them being the member that has the boost, they need to be the ones to block the goal if a play comes out. However, with a really great angle, just not quite finding the center field there means that no goal will be scored. But Rivers and absolutely no one going up for the ball, which means that there's no one down below to stop IUS from pushing until CRF shows up, maybe gets a rebound off the backboard, but barely hits the net.
Yeah, unfortunate railing there in the favor of UBC. They're loving it there as once again, UBC finding these demos, but Weber returning with some vengeance. CRF getting some kills of his own.
You often don't see demos, well, I mean, you can see demos used as a strategy, but it tends to be an adaptation strategy, and I feel like both of these teams have adapted towards it now. They've decided that, hey, finding these demo plays is the main way we're going to get goals. catching members off guard and just finding a tight window to do that would be nice. For now, though, the ball pushed back to Benji as kind of bounces upwards in a weird way. Ooh, and Rivers is in a phenomenal position with the assist from CRF to get their Weber's 4th goal.
I mean, and you can really say with this rebound, you'll see it just out of Rivers from downtown comes and slams that ball into the goal.
And it uses all their boost not to keep control of the ball, but to go for the Hail Mary hit, and it works. Again, 4-0 for Weber. This is a very difficult lead to come back from. You've still got 2 minutes left in this game and at least 2 more games afterwards for UBC to find the comeback. But they've got to start finding their footing now, right? Sometimes momentum matters, and it's really feeling like the momentum is heavily in Weber's favor.
Benji really trying for a goal there. Unfortunately, was just a little bit too far to the right. Unfortunately, that has been like the story of UBC right now, is just barely off goal as Rivers once again. Man, you got to stop showing off while I'm trying to say nice things.
No, I mean, I don't think anyone expected that goal, let alone Rivers. Rivers bounces it down and just kind of like, well, I mean, he was probably aiming for it, of course, right? But still, it was a weird angle to find it. So 5-0, and again, sometimes the best thing you can do is say, hey guys, this game didn't happen. Mental reset, just hit the ball, get the practice in, and we'll go for it in the 3rd game.
It sometimes feels like there are some of these shots that go off that Weber makes, and it reminds me of like the memes, the "what are you aiming at?"
It does feel like that with the Mulan. He was 3 feet in front of you, and no, but it was the 5-head strategy, the weird angles. There's absolutely no one going for a little bit of a weird touch just to get the ball out of UBC's control. IUS going for, again, a weird aerial touch, but again, the longer the ball is in the air, the happier Weber is. They're really strong at holding the ball here. Can't CRF manage to hit a touch? No, I feel like 4 different players all just missed the ball, and absolutely no one ends up pushing it toward their own side of the map. A little bit of a weird position from Weber, but with a minute remaining, I don't think they really mind too much. They're just trying to make chaos happen.
Yeah, chaos, keep the ball from getting any good shots, as Puffyfish gonna actually get quite a good shot, but absolutely no one is there to tap it back. IUS will be there, but that actually pushes it in absolutely no one's favor. Puffyfish will go ahead and get it back on towards Weber's goal. The juggling here is going crazy. Rivers, IUS, back to Benji, back to CRF, back to Puffyfish. Oh my!
It feels like every player has had a chance to hit the ball, and almost every player has had a chance to miss the ball and has missed it. It's a really weird last minute here in the game. I think both teams have kind of identified that there's not much either can do to change the outcome of this game, as Rivers going for a quick reset. They're just trying to keep the ball in, maybe going for one last goal to get a 6-0 lead in the 2nd game. Mental warfare is a huge part of the game, so you never know, right? This last goal for UBC could be something that helps them carry the momentum, at least be a little more optimistic, but it looks like it's almost going to Weber as the ball hits the ground, and it will be a 5-0 game 2 to Weber State.
And absolutely no one there. You see showing off his nose spinning. I don't know what to call it, but, you know, good for him.
Yeah, it's very funny to watch. It's so funny because you see people do that and you think it's probably really easy, and you think that you might just be able to do it, you know, in your own games. It's actually quite hard to do. Looks like absolutely no one will probably hop out of the match for a second, might be changing in some decals, some cars. We've seen players do this from time to time. We'll have to pay attention, see if the car is noticeably different. I don't know for sure, but they should be hopping back in. Maybe their game crashed. Hard to say. A lot of different things can happen.
Again, he's just putting on his pay-to-win skin.
It's not a thing in this, I promise. Well, okay, I guess I can't. I don't know everything, but I'm pretty sure there's no such thing. The hitboxes of the cars, as far as I'm aware, don't actually change.
Little do we know that it absolutely no one has the inside tracked on it.
That would be insane. I mean, sometimes I feel like Weber does have to have some insane magic. I don't think it's car skins or anything, but clearly something's on their side, because some of the games we've been in, these 7-game series, have been phenomenally close and insanely clutch. So sometimes you want to believe it's some other power, and sometimes you just have to understand that Weber is a clutch team. When it comes down to it, they can pull comebacks off and sometimes find insanely impressive leads like they are in this series with UBC. As IUS going for a goal attempt here, but absolutely no one pushing it really far away. It looks like a little bit of a course correction from CRF there.
Yeah, as Rivers going to go back towards his side, going to collect up the boost, going to get the ball off of goal path. CRF keeping it out of the reach of UBC. You notice what Weber is doing, like we've mentioned so many times. They're keeping it in the air. They are so comfortable up there.
Yep, and they tend to be demoed a lot, as we'll see. Actually, demo come back and forth. A lot of demos happening in the first minute or so in this game. But this has been the quietest game so far in the series, right? Almost a full minute has passed and no goals scored from either team, especially Weber. Means that maybe this could be the momentum shift that UBC is looking for. That being said, right now, CRF has full control over the ball, running out of boost there. And unfortunately with Rivers, it looked like missing the ball there. That kind of kills the play that Weber had, and now it's just the ball's momentum sort of resets in the center. Everyone's forced to go back and get some boosts and try and find angles to hit the ball.
Yep, a lot of ball getting missed. Some juggling coming in here from IUS, but he's out of boost, out of speed. CRF going to go ahead and do some really good juggling there, but absolutely no one is there to collect the ball as Puffyfish going to go ahead and do some things. CRF going to go ahead and take out Benji. IUS, though, going to come in rapidly and say, not today, I'm not letting you do it. But Rivers fighting for the ball here, really trying to juggle it out of the way as absolutely no one, once again, going to go for a shot on goal. IUS going to block it once again.
We were having a little bit of a boost deficit right now. They need to back up and get it. You can see that only absolutely no one has boost right now. So right now, it's all up to them to make a play or at least find a goal. Rivers will collect the corner boost and now be fine. And CRF, maybe for the follow-up, will miss the ball. So the ball is just hovering precariously in front of the UBC goal for like a couple seconds. That was terrifying. Absolutely no one loses the tap there. And it means that the ball is really close to Weber's goal. Will Weber be at the deficit for the first time in the series? No, it looks like they managed to get control of the ball. They're pushing it back away. But there's a lot of players just butting the noses of their cars against the ball.
It is just so back and forth. Rivers, though, going to get taken out in midair. And oh my, that was so close. Imagine what a goal from the grave. That would have been something.
Would have been very exciting to see. Of course, didn't end up happening, so we'll reset. And actually, half of the time in this match is about to tick by, and still no goals. A very tense back and forth game. It's clear that UBC has found some of their footing, and I cast a curse them. My apologies, UBC.
Yeah, CRF just getting really good there as he bounced it to the wall, bounced it to himself, got past, I don't remember, I think it was IUS, no, not IUS, it was Puffyfish, and just barely tapped it over his head to get the goal there.
Cleanly played from Weber. With a game this slow, 1 point could determine the entire game. It could be this final score that determines this game, but we'll see. I doubt it somehow. I think both teams have really been showcasing a lot more of what they've got now. You can kind of see it in both the gameplay as well. UBC, I feel like, has been better with the team coordination. A lot of passing the ball back and forth, knowing which member needs to be where at the right time. And unfortunately, CRF does find a small lull in the defense as it looked like two members of UBC went to hit the same ball attempt right here. And when both of them go to hit it, neither are prepared to stop CRF.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. He just saw where the ball was going to be and just simply said, go home, go.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do sometimes, but I feel like UBC definitely lacked the ability to have one member call that they were going to block it and let them block it, right? Believing in your other teammates, saying, hey, you block this one and I can be ready to block another push is really important. Ooh, another flip reset from CRF carried almost across the entire map and almost into UBC's goal there, but won't quite find it at the last second as Benji now looking to do a very similar thing, won't find the flip reset, but gets a demolition on the way down. It's a really strong position to be in. And it looks like UBC finds a goal 2-1. This is definitely worthwhile and could be a comeback from UBC.
Yeah, that kill was so powerful, and it just allowed Puffyfish to get the ball where it needed to be, get the goal. Weber State gonna have to hold on, make sure that no more goals get scored. They want to keep this lead.
Yeah, I mean, technically all UBC needs is one more goal, and then they can stall out the clock. Overtime is infinite until someone scores a point. So in order to even this up and give themselves a chance back into the game, they just need to hold out and score one more goal. Can they find it? Benji out of boost means that they're not finding it right now. And actually, IUS also very low on boost. It's going to come down to Puffyfish maybe, or Benji rather, who has the full boost, to be able to find a play. And with them having control over the ball, it might be their window now. Oh, a nice tap actually from CRF to deny the member of UBC that was ready to go. The ball just hovering precariously right over the UBC goal. It won't go in, and now it's up to either absolutely no one or Benji maybe here to get control of the ball and push it away.
Yeah, and he's doing so quite well, as CRF is actually going to take out Puffyfish off screen. So UBC in a precarious situation. Luckily, though, they are three-man strong. The goal is wide open, and they will score, getting it tied up.
All right, now all they have to do is play for overtime. Both teams, again, no one really loves to be in overtime. Getting a goal earlier would be nice for them. But a nice goal from UBC ties up the series for the first time the entire evening. That's quite exciting. I'm really excited to see the comeback. Again, we can be biased between games, but hey, I'm just here ultimately for good Rocket League, and we're seeing it.
As I actually, luckily, absolutely one was right there to block that goal shot. As Weber, though, now in possession of the ball, but IUS says, no, 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 sir. Puffyfish going to take out CRF. That almost was a goal there by Benji. So close. Puffyfish going to say, nope, get on my back, team. I'm going to lead us there, but will not quite get there as 30 seconds remain. River's going to try to dribble it down, but Benji going to go ahead and stop it. CRF with a really nice flip back, and the ball bouncing precariously. I don't even know what happened there.
It was a beautiful rebound off the backboard from CRF alone. River sets it up for them, and CRF goes for the high hit to look like they're not going for the goal, and then rebounds it off, hitting at a downwards angle. Really well played from CRF. And with this much time left, that might be the buzzer beater score that Weber needed. I thought they were going to get overly punished for being too aggressive. You saw UBC almost scoring another goal in that last point just because Weber gets a little too aggressive here, but Weber's finally starting to calm down a little, knowing that, hey, we can't just run around like maniacs. We do have to be a little careful here, and it looks like it might end up securing them this game 3. But Benji has one last shot with the help of IUS. Can they gain it? No, absolutely no one pushes it away, and that should be enough. The ball just needs to hit the ground, but Weber deciding to go a little bit for the goal, and there it is, game 3 to Weber State.
Holy, that is crazy. Again, Weber State deciding to show off their nosediving techniques.
What a crazy game. Holy cow. Looks like we're still communicating between players. This is, of course, a best of 7. We're all hopping back in. Man, I am very excited to see this. Of course, we got at least one more game. And with the way we've been playing, I would not be surprised to see this go just one more. But hey, like I said, always down for good gameplay. And I'm always down for a reverse sweep. It's one of the most exciting things that can happen in esports. It doesn't really happen in actual sports because of the structure of this. I mean, it can happen. It's just...
I mean, in actual sports, do you ever play several games against the same team? I mean, okay, yes, you do. The World Series in baseball.
Yes, so that would be where it can happen. But it's a very common thing that can happen in esports because of the way the structure is. And hey, there's some of the most exciting things, like I said, so I'd like to see it. Puffyfish 14 getting a demo on absolutely no one already. That means that the control should be in the favor of UBC, but actually Weber State doing a lot better so far.
Yeah, as absolutely no one actually got back really quick to make that attempt on goal. Again, these bounces being very scary for UBC. Absolutely no one going to go ahead and tap it back. And Puffyfish going to go ahead and block it. Absolutely no one, again, just being crazy. River's going to go ahead and get revenge on Puffyfish for absolutely no one.
A little bit of a demo match here in the goal of UBC. Right now, that's really benefiting Weber, right? If you get a demo, not only do you get a couple seconds of time, but you also get to deny the boosts on their side of the map. You can see every member of Weber pretty much full up on boost right now as a demo coming out from Benji at a really good time there. Oh, another goal attempt almost comes out. Weber actually really on a back foot now. They've had to go super defensive, and that can really throw off momentum of a play.
But again, absolutely no one is back. Going to go ahead and get the ball back on the orange side of the map. Rivers playing boost guard here. Going to go ahead and take these away to make sure he is stacked up. He is back far enough to stop a goal from happening possibly. No, unfortunately not. Just very good playing. And this is the first time in the series where UBS has scored first.
All I'm saying, man, I think UBC can pull this off. I think British Columbia Blue here, this is the first time they've been ahead, and like I said, I'm always a believer in reverse sweeps. It can happen, folks. Like when you least expect it, when you think a team has been counted out, right? Because think about it. Every time a reverse sweep happens, you're always going to count the other team because the game looks like it's already over. But CRF does not want that to happen. Maybe I am caster cursing. Sorry, UBC.
Yeah, no, it's just crazy. We talk it up, and then CRF, I think he's listening to the stream and says, you know what? No, bad. I'm going to show you casters what's up.
It feels like Weber is almost in tune with the stream. Anytime we say, hey, UBC looking really strong here, Weber shows us that, no, they still want to close this out. IUS doing what they can here. Benji trying to get a good tap forward, but with 2 members of Weber on defense, it shouldn't be going anywhere.
Yeah, and now Weber in control once again in air, but River's going to go ahead and get taken out. But CRF has shown us that he doesn't care if he's alone. He will get things. Same with absolutely no one. He is happy to be alone, getting in control of the ball. But again, these are a lot of demolitions coming in against Weber. That is kind of what UBC has been showing us they do, is you have to stop the momentum. How do you do that? Well, you kill a guy.
Yeah, I mean, that does tend to stop momentum. If you stop the right person, whoever's going into the layup, it can be a huge deal. Absolutely no one was going for a little bit of a joint play. And again, demoed means that they don't get to go anywhere. As now, absolutely no one is on the defense because of the demo, which can sometimes be the downside of repeated demo attempts, right? Someone is always going to be by the net, ready to defend if a play goes south.
Yep, as CRF going to go ahead and bounce it over to absolutely no one. Absolutely no one going to try to get it back towards the orange side of the goal. But it is on Weber's side. An attempt made. IUS going to go ahead and get the goal. That is another one for UBC.
All right, 2-1. UBC Blue kind of pulling it back, but I'm not going to say too much because I've catch cursed them too many times. Let's just say that this is still anyone's game, right? With 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, there's plenty of time.
No, I'll keep talking.
I'm okay. Well, I know your bias is coming out a little bit. Look, I have a bias as well. But Weaver still has up 3 games to 0, right? All they need to do is close out one more and they win the series. And man, we even tried not to cast a curse it, and it just kind of happened to me.
I guess you can't. We can't even talk in between goals.
Well, at this point, I think it's clear that this isn't just caster cursing anymore. It is a consistency from Weaver. Anytime they look like they're a little bit down, Weaver immediately says, nope, lock in, we got to get another goal.
Oh, jeez. It is just some of the craziest things. As the ball on Weber's side, and wow, it's just blood in the water. Puffyfish deciding, I am going to get things done, as very well played from UBC there.
I mean, look, I know it's just cars and sports balls and goals, but man, this feels like a bloody match. There's demos all over the place. There's insane goals back and forth. We just saw 2 goals in the span of 15 seconds or so. That's crazy. We haven't seen something like that all series, especially not back and forth like it currently is.
I mean, we did see Weber score 2 goals in 20 seconds.
I mean, that's true. We have seen it before, and maybe they can pull it off again. I don't know. I think either way, UBC's really back in this. It's a good thing for them. It is a best of 7 because they're showing that they've got the ability to pull it back. Again, I don't want to fully curse them. I think that a comeback would be really hype. So we'll see how it plays out. As Rivers with a good denial, just a simple tap to kill all momentum of the ball. Let's see if they can find another play. They've got 2 minutes to find at least 1 goal, if not 2.
As Weber going to go ahead and do what they can. IUS, though, on a attack here, but will be blocked from 2 members of Weber. Rivers going to go ahead and get the tap. CRF going to go ahead and be there. The bounce, not quite what he wants, but absolutely no one there to keep it going in the right direction. But UBC going to go ahead and say, I want it to go the other way. But Rivers back in the air, doing what he does best, flying, as that is a shot on goal from CRF, and oh boy, he's happy.
Nice angle from CRF. It looks like a little bit of teamwork there from Weaver. You can kind of see it's going straight down, and CRF says, hey, I'm in the right position to hit this. Don't worry about sending it down. And another goal from Weaver means that this could be potentially an overtime match if the clock keeps ticking away and no one can find a goal. Let's see, the early 50 kind of going to the side here as Rivers, with no boost, does get a demo, but lost out on the major boost, so they don't have much ability to actually play despite the demo.
But luckily for them, on absolutely no one, I love saying the name because it's like I'm talking to myself, is there to collect the ball. He had the boost. Rivers going to go ahead and get demoed, though. IUS going to try and do some things, but it's going to get bounced away. Absolutely no one, once again, going to take a shot on goal and going to bounce it back. There is Rivers. Does not quite get the shot correctly lined up there, as IUS going to go ahead and bounce it away.
Yeah, looks like UBC in a much better position here. Benji gets a demo, but Weaver still gets the tap away. That's really all that matters at this point. Absolutely no one going for a goal attempt. Trying to do a similar play that CRF did earlier. Wasn't quite able to find the rebound off the backboard. Rivers goes for a little bit of a jump, but actually a good patient play from UBC means that Rivers jumps early and is not able to meet the ball in midair. Benji flying up. Has a good angle here, but Weaver's in a much better defensive angle. Let's see if anyone can find a goal in the next 30 seconds, or if we will be going to overtime and next goal. I mean, at this point, I would say next goal wins it regardless. Whether it's in overtime or right now, there's absolutely no one going for the play, but IUS blocking it perfectly.
Yeah, but Rivers in the air, going to go ahead and bounce it. It is bounced away, and it looks good, but CRF is there to bounce it away. Benji, absolutely no one. Rivers, all fighting for the ball here. 6, 5, 4. The ball is not hitting the ground yet. It is not there yet, but looks like the teams are going to decide it's going to overtime.
All right, this is the best state to be in, right? Because theoretically, if you had 10 seconds on the clock, there was always a chance that Weaver could find a miracle or UBC could find a miracle last-second goal. But now, next goal that goes in determines this game. Regardless, there's no chance you have to make another play. There's no overtime. This is it. So teams need to focus up, and Weaver either needs to close out the series or UBC needs to begin the dream of the reverse sweep.
Benji going to get taken out as Rivers flies far past him. The shot on is almost good. Unfortunately for Benji, he's not able to quite bounce in. Absolutely no one is going to go ahead and get the ball cleared from the goal. Pufferfish and IUS going to fight to get the ball back onto Weber's goal. But Weber is just so tenacious and aggressive.
It's cool to see, but again, we've seen their aggression punished before, right? If they get a little bit too overconfident, if they send too many members forward, a surprise goal attempt could be what ends their game for them. So they've got to be a little bit careful here. As Rivers gets demoed, as Puffyfish comes flying down, but the ball kind of stalls in the air because Rivers, again, got demoed, but still gets the push. I feel like we've seen that many times in this series. Now CRF trying to get a rebound. Rivers with a good angle, but Benji with a better angle on defense.
Unfortunately for Benji, Weber is there to clear away, but it is now on Weber's side. Benji going to try to do something. IUS and absolutely no one going to fight for this ball here now. Puffyfish, it would have been good if he had just barely had a slightly better angle. That would have been a goal.
It's hard to say what to do there because a little more patience means that Weber would have been able to block it, but slightly impatient means that the angle is off. I wonder if that'll end up mattering as the timer ticking up already to 1 minute and 30 seconds. This is the closest game we've seen all series. And oh, an insane almost goal from Puffyfish. Once again, the angle a little bit off. It's the goalposts that are actually the fourth member of Weber keeping them in this game.
Ooh, that was very close by Rivers. Benji going to go ahead and try and pass it to IUS, see if they can't do something. I will say that UBC has done a lot better about keeping the ball on Weber's side as Rivers going to go ahead and do the amazing block there. IUS going to keep it on Weber's side. Fighting here, fighting for his life as absolutely no one gets demoed by IUS. CRF going to go ahead and try and bounce it away as Benji going to take a shot on the goal. And unfortunately, the angle is not there. Rivers going to go ahead and keep bouncing away. IUS going to do what he can to keep it away. Rivers takes it up. Rivers is going to go ahead and get blocked by Benji. Absolutely no one and CRF are there to keep the ball going as IUS, again, keeping it towards Weber's goal. It's nonstop.
This is insane. What a phenomenal potential last game, but a potential beginning of the reverse sweep. UBC showing that regardless of how the rest of the series has gone, they are here to play and they deserve to showcase their skills. This is so crazy as Rivers going to intercept the ball, has a good amount of boost. Can they find a good angle? But no, Puffyfish using the remainder of their boost just to try and find a good position as IUS going for the goal and will find it. Ladies and gentlemen, UBC sure is happy about it being a best of 7 now because they will take game 4. Woo! That was a 7.5 minute game. Well, actually, almost an 8-minute game. Overtime going really, really far up there. What a crazy game.
Yep, and we're going to go ahead and get into game 5 here soon. Wow, that was crazy.
Oh, jeez. I mean, my heart was pounding. Like I said, I am all down for great esports, and that game absolutely was the pinnacle of great esports, if you ask me. Sure, I bet like the top 2 players in the world. Oh, okay, looks like a little bit of a tech issue here, so you'll have to give us just a moment here, folks. Hopefully we can get back in just a second here.
Well, Riot, we can't watch any of their games. Sometimes there's some funny things that go on in Rocket League where the server's lost, people get kicked from the games, you have to remake them. It's usually pretty gosh dang quick.
Yep, and speaking of being pretty quick, it looks like we are just about ready to hop back in any second here. The players are just loading up. Oh, man. All right. Well, thank goodness we didn't have any long-term issues because we've got some really exciting gameplay now. I mean, now that UBC's shown that they can take a game, nothing's stopping them from taking the series, genuinely. There's just 3 more games between UBC and taking the series, but Weber, any single one could change it. So let's see if they can find their early form that they had in the beginning of this series and close out strong. Absolutely no one with a decent amount of boost, using it to get a better position a little bit, picks up one of the smaller boosts, but will be pushed away, and Seraph finds the first goal of the game.
Yeah, and you can see absolutely no one deciding to put on a little bit of a fun, flashy, fast car, just for fun.
I mean, I respect it. At this point, you've identified the series is all about speed and chaos. Even if it's controlled chaos, there's still a lot of chaos.
As Weber actually going to go ahead and get the better of that 50-50. Rivers really doing some good as IUS going to go ahead and use a lot of his boost to clear the ball, but CRF going to go ahead and simply say, no, I like it on your side.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Weber really has found the ball on their side a lot more recently, right? They obviously prefer it on UBC's side, but UBC really getting a lot of control over the ball recently. I feel like the teamwork has really come in. The passes and the rebounds have always been in their favor in the last game, and this one a little bit, but Seraph with a good push away using the last of their boost to do so, which means that IUS is in a much better position, and Rivers finds a phenomenal save.
Absolutely no one once again with the ball, but Benji going to bounce it back instantly. Now Weber going to have to be careful, but CRF and Rivers here playing defense, being very cautious. Rivers going to go ahead and bounce the ball. Going to go try to get it to CRF, but IUS with a really good goal there.
All right, 1-1, folks. Like we said, the dream is real for UBC. The reverse sweep, it's possible. Just a barely missed block there, it looks like. Oh, geez. All right, well, every player respawning back in. 3:57 on the clock, and how will the 50-50 go? We were trying to jump up, expecting a hit early from UBC and expecting to intercept it, but IUS knocking it in a very nice angle as, whoa! I was not expecting that at all. You can tell my tempo was not there. How did Rivers find this? It was fully Rivers, it looks like. Wow.
Again, he's just doing that air juggling perfectly. Backboard into a tap down, and just no one there because no one's expecting a, 15-second goal? Not even that?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. He got the side boost, pushed the ball up in the air, and just gently carried it all the way over. Got the rebound off the backboard, and that was it. So already we were 2-1 with 3:40 on the clock. Still plenty of time in the match to find a point for UBC. But we were trying to close it out. Will actually find the sideboards of the goal there instead of their goal.
CRF here going to go ahead and try to send it back. It does get blocked by Puffyfish, but then instantly sent right back by CRF. Now absolutely no one, once again, going to go ahead and try and take the ball. Will take the ball as Puffyfish going to go for the block here. But CRF is here, once again, keeping the pressure on to UBC.
Weber, multiple members running back to grab the boost on their side and play on the defensive. They knew that there was no way they could get the ball under their control without any boost. But now every single member of them hugging this wall here, trying to make a joint play. But with it being pushed to the other side, it looks like Weber will have to return to being defensive. US in a good position, but Puppyfish actually saying that he'll end up taking control of the ball, try and push it over, get a good angle, maybe for a pass to a teammate, but absolutely no one using everything they have to deny that.
Yeah, IUS going to go ahead and say, I'll try to be annoying, but Rivers now with control of the ball with CRF, and unfortunately, that aggression we've talked about, if you go too aggressive, you leave no one to stop. If the ball all of a sudden gets past your defenders, that's a goal.
Yep, you had to rely fully on Puffyfish's 50-50, and unfortunately with the way the taps played out, it ended up going in Rivers' favor. Which means that 3-1, UBC's hope from previous games is dwindling, as Weber in a strong contender for the winner of this match. They just have to cause extreme chaos and play defensively. Now we know Weber doesn't like to do that. If we've seen the way they played a lot, they play very aggressively. Ooh, as the ball stalls out, and actually, as I say it, Weber a little bit punished for a weird defensive positioning. Although I won't blame them. I feel like the weird tap on the goal here is a little odd. You can see CRF accidentally kind of stalls the ball out fully, and then Rivers essentially ends up assisting with a goal.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate timing, but Weber still up 3-2. Going to go ahead and continue the game. There's still a lot of game to be played.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if UBC finds another goal, we can head into a long overtime again. We'll see if that happens. I somehow doubt it. I feel like there probably will be a strong winner of this game. I just don't know who it will be yet because, like you said, a lot of game left to be played. Good amount of boost from CRF. It feels like the ball is stalling out a lot more in this game than it has in previous ones. I mean, all that says is just there's a lot more 50-50s going, but a demo there's a little weird, actually, because it means that one of the members of UBC ends up flying into Weber's goal. The positioning's a little off, so I don't think the demo really benefits UBC that much, as Weber can potentially maintain control of the ball and start pushing it over to the other side.
Unfortunately, Rivers does go ahead and miss the juggle there, but absolutely no one going to go ahead and try and get it back to him. CRF there to collect it. Absolutely no one once again back doing his thing, but Puffyfish going to go ahead and take a shot on goal, but Rivers is there to deny. IUS going to go ahead and simply say, no, I'm going to keep trying to go. Benji's going to bounce it. Puffyfish going to bounce it once again. Puffyfish going for the goal here, but not going to have quite the control he wants on the ball. Absolutely no one going to try to go get it back in the middle, as Rivers going to start getting it to go forward. It's where Rivers likes it. In the air, spike down. I'm sorry, doesn't matter that you were there, Benji. It's going in anyway.
All right, 4-2, a strong goal from Rivers, as you said, exactly where he likes it, floating gently through the air. Whew. All right, and that might be a determining goal. With 1:19 seconds left, that's still plenty of time to score 2 to 3 goals. We've seen it happen before, but with the way the momentum in this game has started to swing, it looks like Weber is really happy with how it's going, barely rebounding off the side there of the goal. I thought that'd be a 5th point for Weber, but they won't find it.
Talk about the 4th member of UBC.
Yeah, doing a lot of work for them here, as it needs to continue doing work, and they do. Man, it really has felt like this series, there's been 4 members on both teams. The sideboards and the backboards have been doing an insane amount of work. We'll see if CRF can set it up for absolutely no one here. They're going for it, but they won't find it, as a demo comes out and absolutely no one, which means that they're out of it for a couple of seconds here. You can see Benji going for a good push, has a lot of boosts, and Weber actually will lose one of the boosts on the side here, so this should be a goal for UBC, and there it is. So despite the fact that Weber was up 4-2, it's now 4-3. As I said, there's plenty of time to score goals.
Yes, but that goes for both teams. It just takes a unfortunate timing for either team. We either go to overtime or Weber secures the series.
Let's see how it plays out. 44 seconds left, 4 points to Weber, 3 to UBC. Already the 50-50 early on, not favoring Weber at all. And absolutely no one coming flying down from the sky there. It was a little bit of a weird position from them. As Puppy Face trying to set up a little bit of a play, maybe a pass to a teammate. Absolutely no one is there to deny. And Rivers can just push it away. Again, all Weber really needs to do is just deny plays. They don't have to go for their own, but they find one anyway off of a weird rebound on an enemy player here. You can see Rivers kind of bounced it off of Benji in a weird way that I don't think either player was fully expecting, but either way, it turns into another point for Weber.
Yeah, and with there being 25 seconds, that more or less secures it for Weber, unless they literally give the game to UBC here, which I'm not counting anything out.
Again, always possible, but I agree with your assessment. I believe this should be the series to Weber State. We'll see if absolutely no one can push it away as IUS gets the demo on CRF. Maybe a couple seconds of a window, but absolutely no one still ends up with control of the ball, and with no one really there to block it, Weber will secure a 6th goal, and that, folks, will determine the series. I'm sorry, UBC, you can't score 3 goals in 7 seconds. 1, maybe. 2, possibly. 3's not happening.
And boy, were these games fun. They were amazing. Rocket League is a fun game.
Oh, absolutely. Super fun to cast. It feels more like traditional sports in a way, as with the timer ticking down here, we've got 4, 3, 2, as absolutely no one wants one more goal before the road ends, and CRF trying to keep the ball up. Weber really saying, nah, let's get one more. But with that, that will be the series to Weber State. Congratulations, of course, to Weber State, and well played to UBC as well. It was a fun series.
Wow, what a game. I could never be this good. I'm glad I don't play, because if I did, I would feel very insecure about myself.
Yeah, I totally get it. I used to play the game a bit casually. I had no idea the absolute extremes of what was possible. But folks, that'll be it from us tonight. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we really hope that you will join us, hopefully tomorrow, for some League of Legends for our JV teams. We gotta do a little bit of testing first to see if the spectating tool is working or not, but keep an eye out. If we go live, ideally, it means it's working. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.